Canadian Citizenship Test. Chapter 2. Who we are. Question 1. What is Canada known for worldwide? A. Its vast deserts. B. Its strong and free country status. C. Its ancient pyramids. D. Its tropical climate. The answer is B. Canada is known around the world as a strong and free country. Question 2. What has Canada inherited? A. The oldest continuous constitutional tradition in the world. B. The youngest democracy in North America. C. A monarchy from the United States. D. The largest empire in history. The answer is A. Canada has inherited the oldest continuous constitutional tradition in the world. Question 3. Which type of government does Canada have? A. Republic. B. Absolute monarchy. C. Constitutional monarchy. D. Dictatorship. The answer is C. Canada is the only constitutional monarchy in North America. Question 4. What commitment do Canada's institutions uphold? A. Power, wealth, and success. B. Freedom, war, and expansion. C. Strength, authority, and control. D. Peace, order, and good government. The answer is D. Canada's institutions uphold a commitment to peace, order, and good government. Question 5. In which constitutional document did the phrase peace, order, and good government first appear? A. The Constitution Act of 1982. B. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms. C. The British North America Act of 1867. D. The Canadian Bill of Rights. The answer is C. Peace, order, and good government is a key phrase in Canada's original constitutional document in 1867, the British North America Act. Question 6. Which phrase has been used by poets and songwriters to describe Canada? A. The Beautiful Kingdom. B. The Great Dominion. C. The Land of the Free. D. The Northern Empire. The answer is B. Poets and songwriters have hailed Canada as the Great Dominion. Question 7. Canada's land stretches from which geographical points? A. The Great Lakes to the Rocky Mountains. B. The Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean. C. The Amazon River to the Bering Strait. D. The Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean to the Arctic Circle. The answer is D. A belief in ordered liberty, enterprise, hard work, and fair play have enabled Canadians to build a prosperous society in a rugged environment from our Atlantic shores to the Pacific Ocean and to the Arctic Circle. Question 8. Which three groups are considered Canada's founding peoples? A. Aboriginal, French, and British. B. Spanish, British, and Aboriginal. C. French, Spanish, and Aboriginal. D. British, German, and Italian. The answer is A. To understand what it means to be Canadian, it is important to know about our three founding peoples, Aboriginal, French, and British. Question 9. Where are the ancestors of Aboriginal peoples believed to have migrated from? A. Europe. B. Africa. C. Asia. D. South America. The answer is C. The ancestors of Aboriginal peoples are believed to have migrated from Asia many thousands of years ago. Question 10. Who lived in North America before European explorers arrived? A. French settlers. B. British colonists. C. Spanish explorers. D. Aboriginal peoples. The answer is D. Aboriginal peoples were well established here long before explorers from Europe first came to North America. Question 11. What were First Nations religious beliefs primarily focused on? A. the creator, the natural environment, and each other. B. Military conquest. C. Wealth and trade. D. The worship of European gods. The answer is A. Diverse, vibrant First Nations cultures were rooted in religious beliefs about their relationship to the Creator, the natural environment, and each other. Question 12. Which document first guaranteed territorial rights to Aboriginal peoples? A. The British North America Act. B. The Constitution Act of 1982. C. The Royal Proclamation of 1763. D. The Treaty of Paris. The answer is C. Territorial rights were first guaranteed through the Royal Proclamation of 1763. Question 13. Who issued the Royal Proclamation of 1763? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. Prime Minister John A. Macdonald. The answer is B. Territorial rights were first guaranteed through the Royal Proclamation of 1763 by King George III. Question 14. What did the Royal Proclamation of 1763 establish? A. The independence of Canada. B. The basis for negotiating treaties with newcomers. C. The right to trade with the United States. D. The abolition of Aboriginal land claims. The answer is B. Territorial rights were first guaranteed through the Royal Proclamation of 1763 by King George III and established the basis for negotiating treaties with the newcomers. Question 15. What was the purpose of residential schools? A. To educate and assimilate Aboriginal children into mainstream Canadian culture. B. To provide equal education opportunities. C. To teach Aboriginal languages. D. To preserve Aboriginal culture. The answer is A. From the 1800s until the 1980s, the federal government placed many Aboriginal children in residential schools to educate and assimilate them into mainstream Canadian culture. Question 16. How were residential schools funded? A. They were well funded. B. They were funded by Aboriginal communities. C. They were poorly funded. D. They received international financial support. The answer is C. The residential schools were poorly funded and inflicted hardship on the students. Question 17. Which of the following hardships did residential school students face? A. Physical abuse. B. Freedom to practice their culture. C. Equal treatment with other Canadian students. D. High-quality education. The answer is A. The residential schools were poorly funded and inflicted hardship on the students. Some were physically abused. Question 18. What happened to Aboriginal languages and cultural practices in residential schools? A. They were mostly encouraged. B. They were mostly prohibited. C. They were taught as part of the curriculum. D. They were promoted by the government. The answer is B. Aboriginal languages and cultural practices in residential schools were mostly prohibited. Question 19. In which year did Ottawa formally apologize to the former residential school students? A. 2002. B. 2004. C. 2006. D. 2008. The answer is D. In 2008, Ottawa formally apologized to the former students. Question 20. Which of the following is not one of the three distinct Aboriginal groups in Canada? A. Métis. B. Eskimos. C. Inuit. D. Indian. The answer is B. Today, the term Aboriginal peoples refers to three distinct groups: Indian, Inuit, and Métis. Question 21. Which group makes up about 30% of the Aboriginal population in Canada? A. Inuit. B. Métis. C. First Nations. D. None of the above. The answer is B. 30% of the Aboriginal people are Métis. Question 22. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples are First Nations? A. 4%. B. 10%. C. 50%. D. 65%. The answer is D. About 65% of the Aboriginal people are First Nations. Question 23. What does the term Indian refer to in Canada? A. All Aboriginal people who are not Inuit or Métis. B. Only those living in the Arctic. C. Only those living in urban areas. D. None of the above. The answer is A. Indian refers to all Aboriginal people who are not Inuit or Métis. Question 24. When did the term First Nations start being used? A. 1950s. B. 1960s. C. 1970s. D. 1980s. The answer is C. In the 1970s, the term First Nations began to be used. Question 25. Where do about half of First Nations people live today? A. In the Arctic. B. In the United States. C. On reserve land in about 600 communities. D. None of the above. The answer is C. Today, about half of First Nations people live on reserve land in about 600 communities. Question 26. What does the word Inuit mean in the Inuktitut language? A. The elders. B. The people. C. The hunters. D. The survivors. The answer is B. The Inuit means the people in the Inuktitut language. Question 27. Where do the Inuit primarily live? A. In the Prairie Provinces. B. In downtown Toronto. C. In downtown Vancouver. D. In small, scattered communities across the Arctic. The answer is D. The Inuit live in small, scattered communities across the Arctic. Question 28. What allowed the Inuit to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth? A. Their knowledge of the land, sea, and wildlife. B. Support from European settlers. C. A warm climate in the Arctic. D. Their large cities and infrastructure. The answer is A. The Inuits' knowledge of the land, sea, and wildlife enabled them to adapt to one of the harshest environments on Earth. Question 29. Who are the Métis? A. A First Nations group that speaks French. B. A distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. C. An Inuit group living in the Arctic. D. A group of Aboriginal people who only speak English. The answer is B. The Métis are a distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. Question 30. Where do the majority of Métis people live? A. The Atlantic Provinces. B. Northern Canada. C. British Columbia. D. The Prairie Provinces. The answer is D. The majority of Métis live in the Prairie Provinces. Question 31. Which language is traditionally spoken by some Métis people? A. Inuktitut. B. French. C. Michif. D. German. The answer is C. The Métis come from both French and English-speaking backgrounds and speak their own dialect, Michif. Question 32. What are Canada's official languages? A. English and Spanish. B. English and French. C. French and German. D. English and Indigenous languages. The answer is B. English and French define the reality of day-to-day life for most people and are the country's official languages. Question 33. Where did the English-speaking and French-speaking civilizations in Canada originate from? A. Asia. B. South America. C. Europe. D. Africa. The answer is C. English and French define the reality of day-to-day life for most people and are the country's official languages. Question 34. Which level of government is required by law to provide services throughout Canada in both English and French? A. Provincial government. B. Municipal government. C. Federal government. D. Territorial government. The answer is C. The federal government is required by law to provide services throughout Canada in English and French. Question 35. What does the term Anglophone mean? A. A person who speaks French as a first language. B. A person who speaks both English and French. C. A person who speaks an indigenous language. D. A person who speaks English as a first language. The answer is D. Anglophones are the people who speak English as a first language. Question 36. What does the term Francophone mean? A. A person who speaks French as a first language. B. A person who speaks both English and French. C. A person who speaks an indigenous language. D. A person who speaks Spanish as a first language. The answer is A. Francophones are the people who speak French as their first language. Question 37. Which province has the majority of Francophones in Canada? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. New Brunswick. D. Manitoba. The answer is B. The majority of Francophones live in the province of Quebec. Question 38. Which province is the only officially bilingual province in Canada? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. New Brunswick. D. Manitoba. The answer is C. New Brunswick is the only officially bilingual province. Question 39. Who are the Acadians? A. Descendants of British settlers. B. Descendants of French colonists. C. A group of Indigenous peoples in Canada. D. Recent immigrants from Asia. The answer is B. The Acadians are the descendants of French colonists. Question 40. When did the Acadians begin settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces? A. 1867. B. 1710. C. 1604. D. 1492. The answer is C. The Acadians began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. Question 41. What happened to the Acadians between 1755 and 1763? A. They gained independence. B. They moved to France voluntarily. C. They were granted special rights by the British government. D. They were deported from their homeland. The answer is D. Between 1755 and 1763, during the war between Britain and France, more than two-thirds of the Acadians were deported from their homeland. Question 42. What is the name given to the forced deportation of the Acadians? A. The Quiet Revolution. B. The Great Migration. C. The Great Upheaval. D. The French Revolution. The answer is C. The forced deportation of the Acadians is known as the Great Upheaval. Question 43. Who are Quebecers? A. People living in Ontario. B. People of Quebec. C. Only people who speak both English and French. D. Recent immigrants from France. The answer is B. Quebecers are the people of Quebec. Question 44. The majority of Quebecers are descendants of settlers from which centuries? A. 1400s and 1500s. B. 1500s and 1600s. C. 1600s and 1700s. D. 1700s and 1800s. The answer is C. Most Quebecers are descendants of 8,500 French settlers from the 1600s and 1700s. Question 45. What did the House of Commons recognize about Québécois in 2006? A. They form a nation within a united Canada. B. They speak only French. C. They are independent from Canada. D. They are the only bilingual population in Canada. The answer is A. The House of Commons recognized in 2006 that the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada. Question 46. Who helped establish the basic way of life in English-speaking areas of Canada? A. Only French settlers. B. English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish settlers, soldiers, and migrants. C. Recent immigrants from the 21st century. D. Only Indigenous peoples. The answer is B. The basic way of life in English-speaking areas was established by hundreds of thousands of English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish settlers, soldiers, and migrants. Question 47. Why is Canada often referred to as a land of immigrants? A. Because it has always had open borders. B. Because immigration started only recently. C. Because only immigrants live in Canada. D. Because millions of newcomers have helped build and defend the country over 200 years. The answer is D. Canada is often referred to as a land of immigrants because, over the past 200 years, millions of newcomers have helped to build and defend our way of life. Question 48. Which continent has been the main source of immigrants to Canada since the 1970s? A. Europe. B. Africa. C. South America. D. Asia. The answer is D. Since the 1970s, most immigrants have come from Asian countries. Question 49. After English, which language is most spoken at home in Vancouver and Toronto? A. French. B. German. C. Chinese languages. D. Italian. The answer is C. Chinese languages are the second most spoken at home, after English, in Vancouver and Toronto. Question 50. Which religious group makes up the largest portion of Canadians? A. Christians. B. Muslims. C. Hindus. D. Buddhists. The answer is A. The great majority of Canadians identify as Christians. Question 51. What is the most common religious affiliation in Canada? A. Protestant. B. Catholic. C. Muslim. D. Hindu. The answer is B. The largest religious affiliation is Catholic, followed by various Protestant churches. Question 52. Which of the following services have faith communities helped provide in Canada? A. Military defense. B. Schools and healthcare. C. Only religious events. D. Law enforcement. The answer is B. In Canada, the state has traditionally partnered with faith communities to promote social welfare, harmony, and mutual respect, to provide schools and healthcare, to resettle refugees, and to uphold religious freedom, religious expression, and freedom of conscience. Question 53. Which of the following statements is true about gay and lesbian rights in Canada? A. They are not legally protected. B. They can only get married in certain provinces. C. They have full legal protection and equal treatment. D. Their marriages are not recognized by law. The answer is C. Canada's diversity includes gay and lesbian Canadians who enjoy the full protection of and equal treatment under the law. Question 54. Marjorie Turner Bailey is a descendant of which group? A. British settlers. B. Indigenous Canadians. C. French explorers. D. Black loyalists. The answer is D. Olympian Marjorie Turner Bailey of Nova Scotia is a descendant of Black loyalists. Question 55. Why did Black loyalists flee to Canada in the 1780s? A. To escape slavery and seek freedom. B. To escape the Revolutionary War. C. To find better job opportunities. D. To join the Canadian military. The answer is A. Olympian Marjorie Turner Bailey of Nova Scotia is a descendant of Black loyalists, escaped slaves and freed men and women of African origin who in the 1780s fled to Canada from America, where slavery remained legal until 1863. Thank you for watching this video. For more great quiz videos, subscribe to our channel. Quiz Genius.